Now here we go again. This is another podcast. But who are we to let you down?
Wow.
Is that
That
it?
song's huge now.
We've missed the NBA and we're all out of hockey. But when it comes to Sundays, we're your guys. And you know this is the name on the front. It's the name right on the front now. It's on the front. It's on the front. It's on the front. Bam. I think that I nailed that
You
one.
should have had
Ocean spray?
Yeah, some ocean spray.
I made that all up on the go.
Yeah, but it would have topped it off if you had the ocean spray.
I
Although,
wish I did.
If you did though, we would have knew. We would have knew.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
What if you just like pulled it out? None of us noticed.
Yeah.
You just pulled it-
Thunder only happens when it's raining. Dude, the worst thing about that going viral is like all the TikTok kids being like, who sings this? Is this a new song?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, I feel
I
old.
saght that video like before it blew up, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Mike-
this is an unbelievable video.
Yeah.
The guy's like on a freeway skateboarding.
And his name's Dogface420?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Really cool. Really cool.
Did we start the camera?
Yeah, I
that
started it.
happen? Okay.
I like looked at him
you want me to-
during the song.
Do you want
I
me
was
to
like,
go check? I'll go check. This
No,
is
I
for the
believe you.
people.
I believe you.
No, no, no.
When did you start it?
Before he put his beverage in the freezer, I think.
His ocean spray.
Oh, we're live.
Oh wow.
All right. We're doing this on a Friday. Don't usually do that. So we have the Thursday night at a recap.
It's in the books.
Two really good teams.
Yeah, best game of the year so far. We also have, I don't know if you guys,
It's the division for schmucks. That's what that is.
before we get into sports here, I don't know if you guys, I watched it last night. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Borat movie yet.
No.
No, I heard about one part of it.
We had a big night yesterday, actually. Yeah. What part of the Rudy?
Yeah.
The Rudy. Yeah, I think that was a little bit overblown.
Yeah, I was watching the debate.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Borat.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know if it's as good as the first one, but it was never.
What
It's
is-
not. It was.
It was never going to be that, but it was.
Like-
it was funny.
because
He's
everyone
too
knows who he
recognizable
is.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he was he still fooling? Don't give anything away. Was he still fooling people?
Yeah, because he wasn't dressed. He was like
He was
Borat.
switching up.
The
He
whole
was-
point is
thing
it is he's Borat disguising himself
Yeah.
because he gets recognized.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So check out Borat now in theaters. Where'd you watch it? Illegally online?
No, it was on Amazon Prime.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I watched it there. I watched it with
Find it on Amazon Prime.
my girlfriend and her dad, which was a little bit.
No
he,
way.
he left halfway through
Yeah,
because
first-
it was getting too awkward.
Dude, first, I don't remember when Borat first came out, but when it
2006.
Yeah.
yeah, so I was in grade 6. So I was like, what is that? I was 12. And I went with my mom
Yeah.
and Mario
The
and my
scene-
brother.
The scene where they're running through the hotel.
No, dude, we didn't make it. We didn't even make it. We made it to
Your mom
when-
pulled the
yeah,
chute?
we made it to when the Jewish lady laid an egg
Oh yeah, yeah.
at the beginning, and my mom's like, "That's it, we're out of here." And I was like, "Mom, like we gotta, it's hilarious." She's like, "No, like I'm not putting up with this shit." We're like, fuck.
Yeah, my girlfriend's dad made it about halfway through before he's like, "Yeah, I can't watch this with you guys anymore. I'm out." So it was then the two of us just finished
Really?
it. But
My
I'm
dad-
happy he left when he did too, because he
Borat
left
is
right
like
before when it
one
got
of-
really awkward. But
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should watch Bruno with your girlfriend's
No,
dad. That
yeah.
one might be a little better.
that would be funnier, I think, because it's
Yeah, is he into like bum darts and
yeah,
shit?
it's at least like. I guess the uncomfortableness doesn't apply would be the way I would say.
Oh,
If you
okay.
get what I'm saying there.
So he's more comfortable with the Bruno type comedy than the Borat type?
I think for him it would probably be more comfortable with that happening rather than like the Borat comedy, because it gets pretty like sexual at points.
Well,
Well,
so
yeah,
Bruno
so
is
does
all,
Bruno.
Yeah,
Bruno's
but I
all
think the
sex.
Bruno thing would be more comfortable if you're sitting in a room with your daughter and her boyfriend as opposed to
Right. I know.
straight sexuality, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if
I
he
don't
was
know.
there with his
You don't
with
want-
his gay son,
You don't want your
Yeah,
know,
that would be
you-
awkward. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
you don't want your girlfriend's dad, your girlfriend of what, 3 years now?
almost
2.
two.
So to know that you guys might have had sex.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You don't want them.
I'm not putting
he
that
can't
out.
know that.
Yeah, well,
he can't know that.
I'm not
God-
going to confirm or deny.
God forbid.
Especially on camera.
Don't. Yeah, please don't. Please don't say it on camera.
he can't know.
Anyways,
Hope he doesn't see this.
if he sees it, then he'll know that you guys haven't yet.
In 20 years, Brandon's just like, oh yeah, all our your grandkids, we adopted them.
Adopted.
Yeah, we have.
Adopted.
We have.
We
Of
got a
course, we adopted them. I don't know why they look so much like me. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
But
Debate. Do you guys watch the debate yesterday?
I did. Yeah.
I saw about the second half of it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty boring.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah. It was pretty standard. You could kind of like if you sat down, if you'd been paying attention to the election at any point over the last year, you'd probably be able to write like the talking points for both sides.
And they both were reiterating lines from the debate. They were just like the first one.
The only part that really got either of them was Biden actually saying out loud that he was like, we're gonna try to move away from the oil industry.
Yeah, that was actually pretty big.
It's
when he
actually
said that.
huge because Texas was on the edge of maybe going blue, and now that looks like it could be.
I feel like he didn't mean to say that either. I feel like he
You got baited.
he's being old Joe Biden there, and he just said some things.
That's tough.
Because it looked like he's as soon as he said it, he was kind of like even Trump was like, yes,
Yeah.
you
So
fucking said it.
I know this is a sports podcast, the debate and the election. That's nerd sports. So we've gone through that. Let's get into the real stuff. NHL first, I think. What do you guys think?
We could do NHL or NFL.
NHL or NFL. I think NHL. We get it out of the way. We talk Leafs. All of our Leafs fans out there. We'll be talking this new roster that Dubas has formed. It has a couple new pieces now. And to start off with, Jumbo Joe signs the league minimum, and he says that he believes the team's ready to win. Do you guys believe that?
My only thing with that is I don't know if there's ever been a team that's gone there without winning a playoff series and just won all four right away. I don't
When I watched the full. Did you watch the full interview with Joe?
No, I did not. No, I just heard clips of it.
The big takeaway that I got is I don't think he's watched this team play because he's the first thing he said, they're like, what do you like about this team? He's like, number one, love the goalie,
Yeah.
the goalie.
That was
Freddie,
weird.
it was that's the number one.
That
thing?
just
You
has to
want to
go
know
back.
why?
That-
Because
yeah.
when he played Freddie in Anaheim was solid.
That's what I mean.
Solid.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's watched the team play.
Yeah.
I think he's just I know Freddie was good at Anaheim.
In fairness, though, if I don't want to make excuses for Freddie, but let's see how he does with this decor in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
It does look better defensively.
for sure.
So let's see how he does. He's good. He is good for 1 month a year where he just absolutely takes a dump on our chances. It's true. He'll
Yeah.
let in He'll let in beach balls.
Well,
from-
I'd say last year he was just not great for
No.
most of the year.
no,
Like,
the
before
other
that.
3 years that we've had him, or however long we've had him, he's usually it's October, where he just stinks up the joint.
Yeah.
And then he kind of turns it on towards the end.
He's never had a good, at least since he's been here, this would probably be the best defensive team he's had in front of him.
I'd say
Yeah.
so for sure. Yeah.
Or at least the best on paper defensive team. I think the way they played with Babcock, they were probably a
Just
little
in
bit
time
more.
for a contract year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably his last year as a Leaf.
I'd say
just
so.
throwing that out there.
I'd say
Yeah.
so.
I do
Although
love-
when you look at what Markstrom got, I don't know that would be impossible for them to
Goalie
fit in
Yeah.
because he's not going to get that.
The goalie market's weird.
Yeah, it is.
The goalie market's weird. You go from Matt Murray winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that was
and,
nuts.
almost being the Conn Smythe winner. I don't know. Did he? He didn't win it. Sid won it, but
Yeah.
he was a big part of that Stanley Cup.
I don't think Sid won
team.
it both years.
He played really well.
Phil should have won it the 1 year, I think.
And then now he's a throwaway.
Yeah, but they gave him a huge contract
did.
too, and I think he's making $5 million a year.
Who did?
Sid won it the two back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Malkin won it when they won in 2008 or whatever, 2009.
Yeah, so Matt Murray in Ottawa.
Joe, yeah. We just didn't really finish talking about Joe Thornton.
No, I
Oh.
know, we got here by talking about his comments on Anderson.
Yeah.
So, circling back.
I do like the fact that he's
Regroup.
he's playing in Switzerland right now. He's actively playing. Because
Yeah.
I think when a guy, once you get over 40, it's pretty easy for the game shape to go off the rails.
Especially because he hasn't played since March either.
Yeah.
They weren't in the bubble.
So he's basically he's going to be playing professional hockey until the point when the season starts,
Yeah.
right? Which is good.
Whenever that is.
Yeah, probably January, February, I would think.
Yeah, that's at least the plan right now. Oh, he got an assist his first game. One
Yeah.
game, one assist.
They won
All right.
9-2.
Point per game player.
So he
He got.
He probably should have
It
got
was a -1 in a 9-2 win.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
really,
Not ideal.
really good, really good performance.
Yeah. So do you think he's the third line center, Joe Thornton?
I don't think so right off the bat.
You think it's you?
I think it's probably still Kerfoot.
See, this is what I know.
But Kerfoot, he has played really well on the wing.
Yeah, so I think you'll probably see Kerfoot slide to the wing. Maybe honestly, even with Matthews, you just go Kerfoot Hyman with Matthews.
I can't remember where I
just
saw
not a
this.
top
I heard
six
buzz
guy.
of like
I know he isn't.
that Thornton said he would be willing to play on the wing.
I think he's too slow to play on the wing.
I think
though.
he plays on the wing, like on the power play.
Yeah, he might maybe even
Well-
on the first power play too,
yeah,
Throw him in front of the net.
or
But that's the
feeding
Simmons, that's where
Matthews
you put
one-timers.
Simmons,
Yeah,
I think Simmons is just stapled in front of the net like they used to have JVR.
yeah,
Crash and bang.
Simmons is probably on the second power.
yeah. I honestly I think Thornton's
I
gonna
would put
start.
him on the first power play before Thornton. That's just my opinion.
Simmons.
Do you
Yeah,
think they have more of the tools now to like actually kind of may have two good power plays? Whereas before they were just
Yes.
like, let's just put everyone on the first one. We might actually see them separate some of the
Well, they
the
tried
top
that
four.
with Nylander. They put Nylander on
But
the
it was-
second for
yeah.
most of the
but
year.
I think the guys with me like. Kapanen's not a power play guy.
Yeah.
Neither like Janssen's a bit better on the power play, but I don't see him as a
Janssen
power
was
play
hurt
guy.
all
But
last year.
yeah, then you
Nylander
have-
with 4 like scrubs is not a good power play.
What
But then-
happened to your track pad?
I don't.
Sorry.
I think I stepped on it. I don't know. I just pulled it out of my backpack today, and it was like that.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a
It
new.
worked.
This is a new thing.
Yeah, I just noticed it today. It works fine though.
Man, how are
and
you
you
not
can't even feel it.
devastated?
I don't know. It works
works.
fine. I have an external mouse too.
Yeah.
So
Sorry to interrupt there, guys.
It's okay.
That's my ADHD kicking in.
it doesn't even. I was looking up just when I was over there that it doesn't look like it's too expensive to fix too.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, back to what we were talking about. and
Speaking of track
power
pads,
play. Yeah. Does that work as a segue?
let's move from the track pad to the ice pad.
Oh, there it is.
Track some lines for the Leafs.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, but are we going to talk about Mikheyev just signing?
Yeah,
too?
signs 2 years, 1.65 AAV. I think it's actually even it's like 1.645 whatever.
I rounded up.
Yeah, because I know. Just the Leafs love a weird, odd number
Yeah.
at the end of a
Down to the
contract.
cent.
Yeah. Like, yeah. What? His agent also came out and said that he took less to help the team out, which
No,
That doesn't seem like he did.
Joe
What
Thornton.
were we
did.
offering him?
that's an all-time agent move.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Thornton took less.
Oh, by the way, this guy took less to
Yeah,
be here.
Hometown discount for Mikheyev.
But it does sound like the one thing you could say is maybe the Leafs, because the way he made it seem, it was like the Leafs called Mikheyev back and said, "Would you do this instead?" So I wonder if they just like Dubas got out the calculator, and he said, "Well, if we save $600,000 or $65,000 or something on Mikheyev, so like if we save a couple $100,000, maybe then we can fit our opening lineup in, whereas before they couldn't."
do you
Considering
think like,
whatever they have penciled in for Dermott too, because he's still going to be signed.
do you think like real math guys like Brandon Pridham are like cap specialists? Do you think he uses like a regular calculator, or do you think he just uses his phone like everyone else?
I think he's probably got one of those big ones. You know, the ones.
Scientific ones?
No, like one of the ones like on a desk that like prints out the paper.
Oh, you think it's got like he's like an old school tax?
I don't- yeah.
Tax.
I'm sure he just uses a computer.
No, you're being
he
ridiculous.
definitely doesn't have like a calculator. He's like, I gotta put this.
No, he's got a
Oh, he's
big.
typing in numbers. He's working it. He's working
Yeah, for
it
sure on like laptop.
on a laptop.
Yeah.
A laptop calculator.
Well, like
Or do you
and
think he
a
just uses his
spreadsheet,
phone?
probably like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, he's got a program. Or
You're taking the rational approach here.
I don't like it.
No.
I think I'm gonna go with
He's got a program like Excel.
I think
Yeah.
I think he uses the old calculator. You got to flip it open. It's got like the front on it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, never mind. They're like the little ones that you'd use in elementary school, and they got the front. You'd flip
Oh
them open
yeah,
and type
yeah,
into them
like almost like a pocketbook
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
He probably uses
And you always
an
felt like, oh, I
abacus.
got to get this thing out.
Abacus.
Yeah, I think he uses an abacus.
It's got like 40 million balls on it. You just
There's a million, 81.5 million balls, and he's just moving them along.
He has to like
Six-
walk down.
six for-
I gotta go
six
down to
for
the end. I'll
Nylander.
be back in 2 days.
he's got a golf cart.
6
Goes
for
back and forth.
Nylander.
Yeah.
11. Who's this for? Marner? Why the fuck? Dubas. Why do we have 11 balls for Marner? I told you 9 tops.
The
Yeah.
balls, every ball's at $1 million.
Yeah.
He's like, we signed this guy for 1.5. He's like, fuck. I gotta cut one of the balls in half.
Get the saw
Is that
out.
a chainsaw?
I don't.
Yeah,
think
that
I don't
Mar-
think we understand how abacus works.
No, not really.
I actually don't.
Yeah.
No.
I have no idea.
I don't either. I know there's movement of balls. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that Marner contract kind of. He's got to have a big year this year. I don't know if we need to get back into this.
No,
but
we don't.
His is not-
just for the sake of the joke. I
His
was
is not
bringing
the
it
biggest
up.
problem there.
You think Tavares is the biggest one
If
there?
if one of those is a bigger, I'm not saying Tavares is like a catastrophe. I'm just saying if one of those is a problem, it's his.
Yeah.
I'll take Mitch Marner in his prime years for like it's
I
not the best.
agree with
but-
that, but I think the fact that Marner was an RFA, I don't know. We don't need to go hammer through this again, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the Hurricanes. Anyways, they offer sheeted him, right?
And like the weather system too.
Marner?
yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think
Weren't
so.
they rumored to?
It
or
was
something?
Columbus, but nobody did.
I thought they were rumored.
I
to.
thought you were just talking about like hurricanes because they like displace a lot of people. I was like,
Yeah,
those-
I
those,
hate natural
yeah,
disasters,
well,
personally.
especially hurricanes.
But they were definitely rumored to.
They're rumored.
That there was something in my mind that associated the Canes with Marner for some reason.
He never got offer sheeted.
No.
No, yeah,
It was
that I was mistaken on. Right when you said no, I was like, oh yeah, but okay,
No, I think you're right. I think Carolina was like rumored,
yeah.
but they
And they were
never
like,
happened.
and their annoying owner was just like, I'm gonna do it.
Tommy
Bunch of-
Dundon?
Yeah,
They're a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, they really are. Speaking of kind of branching off Mikheyev, another Russian, Mikko Lehtinen.
He's Finnish.
Mikko Lehtinen.
Yeah, he plays
but
in
he's in
Russia.
Russia. Mikko Lehtinen.
Kind of.
Yeah, he was in the K.
Yeah, he's playing. We don't need to get. He's playing for a Finnish team. now.
Holy fuck. If you're going to nickel and dime me all day with the semantics,
As soon as I did it, I was like, "Fuck!"
I'm coming over the table.
That was
I
a
think
little
it's
bit
fair
harsh.
to like.
You see that?
He's not Russian.
You see those fractures on your mouse pad? That'll be the front of your skull by the end of this. That was
Sorry,
aggressive.
yeah.
But anyways, Mikko
I deserved
Lehtinen, 16 points in 14 games in the KHL.
For Helsinki.
For Helsinki.
Jokerit.
Yeah, is it the Jokerit?
Jokerit Helsinki.
Jokerit
The team with the
Helsinki?
clown.
Yeah,
The logo's
yeah,
the clown.
I love that logo. I actually do. I would whenever I do make a team, I would always use that for some reason.
Yeah, he puts up points, eh? Like even last year.
Yeah, he's got 8 and 8 in
He
14
led the
games.
team in scoring last year.
That's pretty crazy.
Like the KHL is not a high scoring league.
No.
So for a defenseman to be putting up, like it's pretty impressive. But
So-
again,
Zaitsev look up Zaitsev's KHL numbers for me, because that's the next part of our discussion here. Is the last defenseman that we signed out of the KHL was Nikita Zaitsev, and we ended up giving him an outrageous contract.
I think you're forgetting
not
about Igor Odoganov.
I definitely forgot about
Yeah.
him because he didn't really
not
play.
not comparable.
Not even comparable.
Well, like he put up like okay. Letnin's like a point a game.
But you look at
like-
so just to go by that, you look at his points there. His career high in points in the KHL was 32. This is Zaitsev. He had
Yeah.
36 his first year in the NHL. So if you're looking at that as kind of like a how it's going to
He actually
translate,
increased. Yeah, he had more points his first year in the NHL than he ever. Obviously, they
he did play more games. Yeah,
So Lehtinen, what you're telling me is Lehtinen is going to be a 1.5
pencil him
player
in,
the NHL.
90 points.
Perfect.
No, because Zaitsev didn't score more points per game.
No, same amount of points.
because they play less games in the KHL.
So
So he'll probably get Letnin's like 60-point guy in the NHL. And it's-
60, 70 points.
no power play
maybe
time
80
either.
points.
Just
He's what we wanted Tyson Berry to be.
Perfect. Okay, yeah.
At 800
Pencil him
grand,
in.
it's perfect.
Pencil him in.
Yeah,
Pencil
so-
him in.
Boom.
Easy.
Problem solved.
Yeah, so better or worse? What are your expectations? Higher than what we got out of Zaitsev or lower?
higher, I would say. Although Zaitsev, like if Zaitsev had a better contract, he would have been a good fit for this team right now. Like is he any worse than Bogosian? Like he's kind of the same player to me as Bogosian right now.
Zaitsev?
Yeah, don't you think?
Bogosian gives you more like
Grit.
Grit.
Yeah.
I mean, which I know that probably only matters in like a playoff series, like during the regular
Yeah.
season. They're probably the exact same player.
Yeah. I think they're very, very similar players at least. And then I don't know. It's kind of like to me, Lehtinen, whatever they get out of him is almost gravy.
100.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was gonna go. For me, my expectations, I don't think I have any. I think I'm just like we talked about last week. It's like you're probably gonna play third line. If we can get a little offense out of you, that'd be great. If we can get some minute crunching until like our top four can get out there, that's great. But am I gonna be like disappointed if Lehtinen is not a staple on that third
Does
line
he-
by like 40 games in. If he's in the press box, am I going to be disappointed? No.
Apparently,
I'll be like, fine.
apparently he can play the right side too, which is that would be extremely
Does
helpful.
he have like a I don't really know what his player pro like? Does he have like a booming shot from the point? Like, cause his goal to assist ratio is like pretty good too. Like he gets a lot of goals. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, does he have like just a really good shot?
Sounds like something I've never seen him play, but
Yeah.
that sounds like something I've heard.
Well, yeah, the all the highlights I've watched in my scouting of YouTube highlights have all of his goals are like big shots from the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of something we haven't really had on
Throw him.
a power play.
Yeah, throw him on
Like-
the.
Well,
throw him
Tyson
on
Berry
the
was
back end.
supposed to be that, but he would just like
Yeah.
do it at stupid times.
Yeah.
Like Matthews would be wide open for a
And
one timer, and Berry
Cody
just,
Cece had a hell of a cannon. He just missed it.
oh yeah, he
by
took
40
out
Yeah.
feet.
the Tim Hortons ad
Yeah.
on that.
He was good at
That's
hitting that.
do you know the clip I'm talking about?
Yeah.
In the Columbus? That's the
That's the
worst
one
shot.
that's the one I'm referencing.
That's
Yeah.
the worst shot I've ever seen
Yeah.
in my life.
So speaking of bottom pair defensemen, we still have one RFA, and that is Travis Dermott. Where are you guys on this right now? Like, what would you be willing? What do you think he deserves?
Well, I think if you look at, to me, Victor Mete got $700,000,
Yeah,
and he seems like a pretty
good comparable.
yeah. Like they have similar points, they're similar age.
Games played.
I think Dermott might have a few more, but
I think he does.
they're at like a similar. They have the same amount of leverage in terms of arbitration rights and stuff like that. So Dermott's played 157 games. He's got 67 points. Victor Mete, I know I probably should have had this prepared. Mete's actually played more games. He's got 171 games played. He's got 30 points,
Interesting.
31 points. So I think and then Troy Stetcher got 1.5 for 2 years as a UFA. So Dermott, he's not as good as Stetcher. He doesn't have the leverage that Stetcher has. I think he probably gets somewhere between $900,000 and $1 million, or like $800,000 and $1 million. Like I don't think he can get much more than $1 million, especially with this team's cap situation. Him having
I wouldn't
no
be
leverage.
willing to give him more than that.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
Yeah,
What's your cap? Like
$1 million.
a mil?
Yeah.
I'd say
Right?
1.2 tops,
I was
especially on a 2-year deal. If it's a multi-year deal,
Yeah, I was thinking that's probably what he's gonna get is 1.2.
1.2
Yeah.
1 year or 2.
2.
Yeah, that I would do.
Yeah.
But I think they might have to get creative to fit that in. I think the one thing that could help them too, if they do like a taxi squad kind of thing that they did in baseball, where that is an uncapped set of 3 to 5 guys or whatever, that'd be
huge for the Leafs.
my only fear would be if they put in a rule you can't have that unless you have 21 guys on your roster.
Right.
There's a chance that like I could see them doing something like that too, but I'm sure the Leafs could find a way to work around that. But yeah, they have, as of now, on Cap Friendly, they have Engvall buried in the minors, and the Leafs have $0 in cap space. So
Yeah, Engvall I don't think makes this team.
this is with 21 skaters too. So I don't know.
Okay, so I have my possible line combinations that I've written out. Do you guys want me to give you my line combinations and then you just critique them and say what you do different? Or do
Yeah,
you guys
read them
have
out.
yours?
Go ahead.
Okay.
How about I just guess yours?
Do you want to try?
Sure.
Okay.
So center, you have Matthews, Tavares, Thornton, Spezza.
I think you have Kerfoot instead of Thornton.
Yeah.
He said that earlier, Mike. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I was that.
Gotta listen.
So what do you have? Thornton on the fourth line wing.
No, fourth line center.
Spets on the
Oh.
wing then.
I see. I don't think that's. I think Thornton's not on the fourth line.
Okay.
But so I'm already wrong. So you might as well just read the rest.
All right. First line I have Hyman, Matthews, Marner.
I think that's
Switch him with Nylander if you want.
I think
don't
that's a lock, I would say.
know. Second line I got Mikheyev, Tavares, Nylander.
So okay. Mikheyev on his off wing.
Yeah, he's on the left.
I
Then
think when they were doing that, and this is a small detail, but I think he's left-handed. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Then I have Kerfoot, Simmons, and Robertson. Okay. And then I have Thornton, VC, and Spezza.
Yeah. I don't know if this is what I think they're gonna do or what I want them to do, but I've kind of bought it. I don't know. At least to start, maybe try like Mikheyev and Kerfoot, or like
And Simmons.
no. I'm trying. Like I don't know who maybe do like Mikheyev, Hyman, Matthews.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Oh, you're saying put one of them on the top.
I'm not
Like
gonna
put
lie.
two of like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I like switching Spezza to the middle on the fourth, Kerfoot to the right wing on the fourth, and then moving Thornton into that third line center.
'Kay.
I do like that now.
What about listen to this?
I say Robertson, Thornton, Simmons. That third line, 2 vets with Nick Robertson. One is one of the best playmakers of all time. With that, with I mean, he's obviously seasoned, but like you give him a goal scorer like Nick Robertson. Let's see what they can do together. I like that. And then you have the workhorse in the corners that can get the puck for both of them, and Simmons. I'm talking myself into that line, and I really fucking like it. Thornton, Simmons, Robertson, third line. Pencil it in, Sheldon Keefe. What do you guys think of
that?
I
know.
I think Thornton I think he's the third line center, at least at the start of the season.
I made this 3 weeks ago.
Like
this list,
he
or
played,
2 weeks ago, right after we got VC. I made this.
Like I know I keep harping on this, but like if you look at he played 16 minutes a game last year. Like it's not like it's just like this guy who like plays comes in and plays like 8 minutes.
He's not Spezza.
He's still playing
not
like
the same as
significant
Spezza,
minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He played more. He had more ice time last year than Kerfoot. He was on a way worse team.
Yeah,
but
so I would actually, I'd like a VC Spezza Kerfoot fourth line. I think that's actually pretty good.
Okay, I've got an idea here.
Shoot.
You're gonna have to hear me out. I don't know how likely this is because I don't think. Okay, I kind of bought into the idea of the Babcock philosophy of just having Matthews with nobody. Because I think Matthews is going to do what he does no matter what, and then you have him on that top power play with everybody. So I would go
disagree.
Kerfoot, Matthews, Hyman, because I think that is your best chance to get production out of those 2 guys. And then you go.
I kind of
hate it.
Mikheyev, Tavares, Marner, and then Robertson, Thornton, Nylander as my third line. Because then or you could even swap Robertson out.
Nylander's proven he can't drive a line on his own.
But you have Joe.
He becomes invisible without anybody else.
You have like an elite playmaker. Like
Yeah.
He's old, but he's an elite playmaker.
And then you could even move Nylander over to the left side and bring up Simmons, bump Robertson out. But I don't know how likely
I'm
it
not
is.
sold on that. I mean,
Like,
I see where your mindset
The last
is.
time they tried to
I just
put
don't-
Nylander on his old, like who was he playing with? It was like
It was Kapanen and Johnson, I think, wasn't it?
was
At
it both
center?
of them? I think Janssen was in the top 6 then.
Are we talking about because in the playoff? Remember the game 5 they dropped him down to center.
Yeah.
I think he was playing with Johnson and Nylander or something like that, or Nylander and
So
Robertson.
wait, where was Simmons in yours?
the fourth line? Which I don't think is going to happen.
No.
But I think you could also move Nylander to the left and put Simmons up with Nylander and Thornton.
Well, Simmons plays both sides.
Or both, yeah. Either I think Nylander
So
played a
you
lot
don't
of
have
left
to-
last year too.
yeah, like-
but either one of that, yeah.
See, I think there's
I
more of
you
a
give-
chance Simmons is on the fourth line than Thornton.
Yeah, I don't think either one. I think they're probably both on the third line. I think the most likely guy to come out of the roster or the lineup is Nick Robertson. I don't think he's a lock at all to make the team.
I want him on the team though. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, he'll play. He's gonna play games next year because there might be nowhere else for him to go.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna send him back to junior.
Well,
I think
yeah,
that's kind of pointless.
Yeah, and junior they're talking about like no hitting, like which I'm like, how does that even work?
Yeah, because the other 2 leagues are hitting too, which is
Yeah.
weird. I don't know. That's what I would do personally. I think
Okay.
at least, and again, like Sheldon Keefe is a guy who's been very open to change with his lines.
He's flexible.
Yeah, flexible is a good word. So I think he would
Very good word.
give that a shot, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if Matthews doesn't want to play with Kerfoot and Hyman, well, then Matthews isn't playing with Kerfoot and Hyman, right? Like if he
Yeah.
doesn't want to do it, he's not doing
I'm
it.
sure he.
I wouldn't want to.
No,
personally.
But I think you could sell it on him, like sell it to him that it's best for the team, and that he's still gonna get
And
his
you're
time
like,
with
you
that
can
top
show,
power play unit.
you can show that you want to be the MVP of this team. Like here you go.
Because it's kind of the Crosby theory that Crosby always plays with nobody.
He's not
Yeah.
Crosby.
No, he's not. But I think he's good
I
enough.
think he's
I don't think he can be.
think
I don't
he-
think he's Crosby.
He can
He
be
is
like
not.
a top 3 player in the NHL.
But Sidney Crosby is just a different animal, man. Like that guy is a possession beast. When he wants the puck, he gets it and he can keep it. And he can create plays on his own. Matthews can to a certain extent.
I think he
but he
can.
can do it a lot
he just
better.
doesn't-
He can do it a
he's not
lot better
engaged
when
as
he
much.
has that winger.
Yeah.
I don't know. But mostly for me, it isn't about Matthews. It's more about Nylander. Nylander, every time he's been on the third line, he's invisible.
I agree.
Invisible.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So I don't have the confidence in Nylander
You could-
to be able
well-
to create offense on a third line
Okay.
with nobody.
What about-
I just don't have the confidence in that.
What about swapping Nylander and Marner then? Then you have Nylander with Tavares and Mikheyev, and then Marner, Thornton, Simmons,
Or Robertson.
or Robertson. But then you have an $11 million third liner, which I don't.
But
I don't know how-
you can play
You
like
just play
it's
them.
third
Yeah,
line. And you can
I
play
know.
those three
I
lines
know.
equal time. Right?
Yeah, and I don't know how.
But-
And they're all
tied
still
up in
they're all
that
still
each
on the
get.
top power play.
The other thing is too, if I almost like if you have, it's kind of hard to put Robertson with Marner just because that line would be so.
I do like
It would
the
be
Easy
tough
to
for
knock off the
yeah,
puck.
yeah.
I like the prospect of having 3 lines. Like
I-
all we've had is like 2 lines.
And
the
then
last
even in
2
that
years.
case, if your fourth line is VC,
you play them fucking
Spets,
6
yeah,
minutes
but it's
a game.
VC Spezza. I don't even know who.
I think Thornton, Simmons, and Robertson would be a good third line.
I agree with you.
It would,
yeah.
I think you can get offense out of that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think
would.
that's
Like, so I
also-
think maybe you're overthinking it.
maybe, but I also like the idea of having one of Marner, Nylander, and Matthews on the ice at all the time.
Yeah, I mean it's I like the idea of socialized medicine, but Trump's not going to do it.
Yeah,
I was looking for something there.
I think it's again like I'm not married to that idea at all. I'd like your lines would be good too.
Yeah.
but I like
I'm not married to anything
No.
at this point. Nothing's worked so far in terms of getting playoff success, or even like we played Columbus for a reason. We weren't good in the
No.
regular
Yeah.
season
No.
last year
Like-
either. So it's
you-
it's not like, and I mean, this
Well,
might
that's
be
why
the
I'm a
year
little-
Boston got
that-
worse.
That's why I'm a little shocked at Joe Thornton's comments.
the problem with that is so Boston got worse, Tampa got worse, and the Leafs might not play in that division. Like the division gets worse, and the Leafs are going to play in the All Canada division.
But did you? So apparently, Alberta is starting this thing where they're going to be doing testing from international flights at the airport, and if you get negative, you don't have to quarantine.
You do have to quarantine for 2 days, I think.
2 days,
Yeah,
okay.
which is way better. That would make
But-
things a lot
and
more.
Doug has already been eyeing that plan.
course he
said,
has,
and
yeah.
he's like, I like that.
I spy.
If that goes into effect, I feel like you could have teams travel
Yeah.
across the border.
Yeah, like that would be doable.
Obviously,
I think.
with the 14-day, it's
You
not.
have
an
to
option.
extend your schedule though too, even with the 2 days.
Yeah.
But I think it makes it
Yeah.
more possible, even if you just have teams come up here.
Play all the Canadian
Yeah,
teams.
and
It's
that's
a
a lot
crazy
more.
road
That's a
trip.
lot more doable than if it was 14 days, right?
Yeah.
You could have 3 teams up here doing that and just playing all the
Yeah,
Canadian teams.
this is where the schedule software or whatever they use, they have to just plug in a shit ton of
like give me
variables.
15 different options
Yeah.
for every team, right?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
So what apparently the Raptors were saying, like they might play in Louisville or something.
Yeah, apparently
Like,
the players.
Yeah.
And we can get into this a little bit later, but apparently the players don't want to do that because of the like the Breonna Taylor thing. The players have like shut that down. They don't want to play in Kentucky.
You could like create awareness by
I
playing
guess,
there.
yeah.
I don't really get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
That's
yeah.
that's just what I like. Because that was in Kentucky, right?
It was in Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville. So there you
Yeah.
go. So I don't think they want
It
to
was
do
in
that
Kentucky, yeah.
because I don't think they want to support the.
It's not our
the town,
fight.
I guess.
Whatever they're comfortable with, they're comfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
They're the
But
players.
that, like I saw that came out yesterday
Yeah.
too. That the players kind of wanted to shut that down.
So
But again, like I know I would love to see an all Canadian division. I think that would be. Just,
I think it'd be awesome.
It's
I think it'd
it
be
sucks that there
it
won't
would
be fans in the
electric.
building, but it would
Yeah.
be unbelievable. Even if it's like the first half of the season, it's just Canadian teams playing each other. Like that would be.
It would be electric.
And yeah.
Speaking of Canadian teams, though, Connor Brown, new contract in
Yeah, good for
Ottawa.
him.
Good for him. I think 3.6 mil per year. I think he got a 2-year, 3-year deal.
2
2 years.
I think all the arbitration settlings have been 2 years. I think.
I think is that the end of the CBA after 2 years?
Ooh, I don't know. Good question.
I think that might be the correlation there.
I know. I think because what it is when the players, if they file for arbitration, the team gets to pick how long the
But I
judgment
just
is
noticed
for.
even with free agency.
No, you know what it is?
There's been
It's
a lot of
Vegas,
2-year.
Seattle.
Yeah,
It's-
there's been a lot of 2-year deals.
It's the Seattle thing because they want to be able to expose these guys and not have
yeah,
because you
that's
can't
true.
expose UFAs.
That's true.
So I think a lot of it is that too.
Oh man.
Any more on the
crazy.
Leafs here? We're ready to move on.
I'd say I'm ready to move on. We covered a lot, and really the only question mark is still that Dermott contract. We don't know what he's gonna make, but if it's anything over.
We don't even know if
1.2
he's gonna have a spot.
Yeah,
either.
even if he's gonna play here. I mean, he's a Newmarket kid. I'd love to see him play here, but I'm also.
I don't really give a fuck
I also.
about Travis Dermott.
I'd like to see him have a.
he's
He
spot.
like-
actually is a Tobico guy too.
He's like,
He's a good man.
okay,
he
yeah.
lives like I think down the street from
Yeah, I'm
here.
just talking about his on ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
He lives here.
Like down the street. He's always on his Instagram account.
Yeah,
he's
he's
got
on
pictures from the like
he's
the
on
dog
6th.
park behind from behind Humber. There's always pictures of him with his dog
really?
there. Yeah.
Why does he live in this neighborhood?
I don't know. Jeff O'Neill lives around here too.
He lives in like the condos.
There's
over
condos.
there.
Yeah, at Parkland.
But that's a like decent way away.
But they, I heard on Overdrive they were talking. I guess O-Dog said that he ran into him at Farm Boy to Dermot, and Dermot called him big guy.
Oh, actually,
And O-Dog was upset
I was
about
like,
that.
yeah, never. They practice right there, so that makes sense.
yeah.
Like
Big guy.
Yeah, he called him big guy.
that actually makes a lot of sense. I forgot that they practiced.
He's pretty big.
On our street. No, I'm talking about where.
I know.
Yeah,
I
O-Dog
know
goes
what
to
you're
the gym too across from the MasterCard Center.
He has a membership.
He's also a.
I don't know if he goes.
He's a big fan of the.
He also doesn't go because there's no gyms right now.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I love how it always works for me. Just like there's like always something that comes up like, "God, dude, I was gonna start going to the gym.
Yeah.
Now there's no gym. Fuck.
Oh, I don't know. So speaking of home gyms, I know we have. What happened to the home gym that was here?
An exercise bike.
Yeah.
Luke took it into his room just for today because Steph wanted to use it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So speaking of exercise bikes, my mother made a ridiculous purchase the other day. She bought a Peloton.
Unbelievable
That's
purchase.
not ridiculous.
Do you know how expensive they are?
Yeah, but if she's got the
Oh
money,
yeah, it's a great. I'm pumped for it.
Are you
I
gonna
already-
use it?
Oh yeah, I bought. You have to have like special shoes for it. You gotta have bike
You have
shoes
to
for
have
it.
special shoes.
Yeah,
What do they like lock in?
yeah, they click into the pedals. So I got that ready to go. I'm pretty pumped for it. Comes
Yeah.
November 10th.
Are you gonna join like a riding team like a Sons of Anarchy kind of?
I'm not even totally sure how it works, but they have like I guess classes you can sign up for.
There's like riding teams where like you ride like you can like sign like if all your buddies got them.
did you get
You guys got to get a Peloton then.
Did you get the base?
Hopefully Peloton can
Model?
sponsor the podcast soon,
I think just that.
and then
one,
maybe
yeah,
we'll maybe
more
we'll get one pro
more than
bono.
my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and yeah.
So yeah, we got to sell some of these
So
laptops. And
the
get ourselves
November,
a
like the
Peloton.
November 23rd, the U.S. Thanksgiving week, I'm gonna be shredded by
Yeah?
then because I've had it for 2 weeks. That's
You can
probably
get
about
on
all
a-
it takes to get
you
in
can
really
get on
shape,
a-
right?
I think so.
Payment plan though. They let you like
How much per month?
80?
80,
You guys could do that.
We could swing that.
but it takes you like how long would that take you to pay it off?
Ooh,
How much is it?
5 years.
And there's probably interest.
How much is it?
The
The whole thing altogether.
the base model's 2,500.
So you could do 64 a month.
Yeah,
64.
64 a month, but it would take you years.
You've also got to pay for the membership too.
2,500 divided by 80, 31 months. So that's like
if you go 80,
that's like
2.5 years.
two
Yeah,
and a
that's
half
not-
years,
that's not
but
bad.
probably 3 with the interest.
Interest.
but you also can just like throw more money.
You
at
also on
whatever
top of
you
that, you also have to pay for the membership. I think it's like $40 a month.
What?
Yeah, but that.
want. Oh, so maybe no, never mind. Maybe that's just the membership. Maybe I thought this was like a payment plan.
No, I think that. No,
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that is a play. Yeah, because it says pre-qualify now. That
Okay,
is a
okay.
payment plan. But
Lord
the
have mercy.
member like $40 a month would cover everybody in the house too.
In the
But-
name of
Yeah. Anyways, sorry to
Peloton.
sidetrack
So
everybody. there.
free advertising for Peloton.
Yeah, sponsor the podcast,
Yeah.
Peloton. I
Peloton.
bought one.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
your
us.
mom bought.
Your mom bought.
I paid for it.
Let's get on to the real payday. MLB. Horrible segue. It's one-on-one.
What about the
It's-
football? We're just skipping football this week.
I thought we were gonna do football last.
Okay.
I thought we were doing football after hockey.
All
All
right,
right,
doing
well,
football first.
let's get into the real payday.
It's
NFL.
first. No, we can do MLB. We probably should talk about the World Series.
Yeah, we should.
All right,
Yeah.
pick one, guys.
World Series.
Okay.
World Series.
It's tied 1-1. Game 3 goes tonight. I don't know who the hell's pitching tonight, but probably the opener stuff's really starting to drive me nuts.
A-Rod was pissed.
Yeah,
about
well.
like Tony Gonsolin pitching.
Yeah, like it's the fucking World Series, and you're the LA Dodgers.
Well, they only have 2 starting pitchers.
Yeah, you're the Dodgers. Like, how is that acceptable?
They got. Well, they're good. They're pretty good. Like,
No, I
they're
know. No,
complaining-
I know that they're good. It's just like, how can you? Oh, it's Bueller Morton tonight. So we actually do have 2
Oh, I
starters
thought
going.
Bueller was going to Game 5.
And maybe my score app is wrong.
No, they might have moved him up.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the opener, especially for a team with that much money, the fact that you can't get.
Oh yeah, Bueller is starting. That's a huge matchup.
Yeah. That you like, I don't understand how you can't have enough starting pitchers. Like, obviously, maybe the analytics are playing into this, but I don't know.
Well,
it's such a pet peeve for me that you like. It's just so
They all left
gimmicky.
in the offseason.
Yep.
They obviously
Yeah.
I think they made a priority. They're like, we only need like 2 aces, and we can just piece together.
Were they doing that like all season? They
I-
couldn't have been. Like Dustin May must have actually like started games.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
I guess they just don't trust. You want to get that first. It's analytics. You get that first.
I know that.
Work through the order out of the way, right?
It's like I get that if you're a team like the Rays that has no money and you're trying to like scrap through the regular season, but in the World Series, to me, it's like I don't know. You should have.
You sign Mookie Betts. It's like we got to pinch pennies elsewhere.
Like game 2 of the World Series, you're doing a bullpen game. Like that to me just seems off the rails. Like that's just. I don't know how baseball's like if there's anything they can do.
See, they're doing
that,
it like they're using guys who were starters in the regular season as openers in the playoffs.
No, I know that.
Like Tony Gonsolin was a starting pitcher for them.
Yeah, but
then they're like he's only gonna go 1 inning.
Yeah, I don't like that. But
yeah, it'd be like if the Jays they're like, hey, Ryu's pitching the first game, Taijuan Walker's pitching the second game, and then we're going like Shoemaker,
like what they did. Yeah,
Chase Anderson, whoever, right? Like you're piecing together your back end starters for another game.
I just find that frustrating to me, but.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work. They lost.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right.
Because the Dodgers, this is an interesting matchup too. Because it's like the Dodgers are just the Rays with money.
Mookie Betts is like the Dodgers payroll. I mean the Rays payroll.
Yeah. Kershaw and Betts make more than the entire Rays team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for those guys.
I know.
Yeah. And good for the Rays.
Do you guys think the Rays being this far and possibly winning, is bad for baseball?
No.
Like you don't think that's going to discourage?
I think the Rays being in Tampa is bad for baseball.
Well, yeah.
This isn't a new thing.
No, I know it's not.
The Oakland Athletics were doing this. There's a movie about it.
Yeah, but I just think the more prevalent it is, the more easier it is for owners to point to things and say, well, this team won the World Series, but not spending any money. Why the hell should I?
You could also equally just be like, the LA Dodgers won the World Series, and they spent a shitload of money.
Yeah, but then the flip side of that is like, I could spend a ton of money and get to the World Series, or I could spend no money and still get to the World Series.
But the Dodgers but if you the Dodgers are going there every year.
Yeah. They haven't won.
You can point to it, but you can also make if you look at the Blue Jays, there was 2 years where we decided to spend money. What happened? We went to the AL Championship Series both years.
Yep.
Right?
No, I know, but that I think just knowing the way owners tend to be, especially now, I think they're going to point to the team that doesn't spend anything.
I think the Rays, if you have the Rays just have their organization is unbelievable. Like they do this they're always good and they never spend any money. The Oakland Athletics used to be this team, but most organizations just aren't like that.
You're right.
Like the Pittsburgh Pirates are always shit.
The architect of the Rays is now the GM of the Dodgers, which is why they're kind of.
That's what happened with the Red Sox tried to poach Billy Beane, and then they just used all his tactics.
Theo Epstein. They got Theo Epstein. I almost called him Jeffrey Epstein.
So, very different. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you get rid of that, even if you say they're bad.
I don't know either. Like the only thing you could say is your starter has to go 4 innings unless he gets hurt. But then.
Or maybe you implement like a cap floor, and you say you have to spend this much money.
Yeah.
But then,
if you have a cap floor, then you're gonna have a cap.
I know, and they're not gonna have a cap.
No,
because the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox make the league all their money.
I know this is a bit of a controversial take. I just think leagues are better without caps too, or at least
without.
They're better with like the NBA cap. I think is the best situation.
Where
it's like a maneuverable cap.
I agree.
It's a soft cap, but I don't know.
But I think it depends on the sport. Like I think the NFL is pretty good the way it is.
Yeah, I never their cap almost never really comes into play. Almost right, like it's never I feel like because it's I guess you can just cut guys.
I feel like with more movable parts, it's easier to maneuver a cap. Like when you're dealing with 53 different contracts, it's easier just to have okay, move this in, move this out, move that in, move this out.
And guys can restructure their contracts and that'll affect the cap.
If the NBA didn't have a flexible cap, it would be you'd have these huge free agents and 2 teams would be able to sign them. Right?
I know.
They have to do it that way.
Yeah.
There's no. Yeah. So game 3 tonight, they didn't go yesterday. I'm assuming they just didn't want to go against the debate
or football
maybe
too.
Right.
Yeah, that barn burner.
Yeah.
It actually was a good game, but the shitty teams.
I saw a good point though. I think Andrew Yang actually tweeted this last night. He's like,
probably was a good point.
He's like, maybe don't have a debate the same night as 2 of the top 5 biggest markets in the NFL have a football game.
I feel like that happens every election too.
It's like New York and Philadelphia. No one in those cities watched the debate.
Yeah, they always hold the debates and the Democratic primaries. They're always on a Thursday.
Yeah.
in the middle of football season or a Monday. It's like I don't know how you don't figure that out.
Yeah.
It's also crazy to me. I was looking at this. All of the most watched television events like every year, like the top 5 are football games.
Oh yeah,
over everything. Like
that might change this year, but because apparently the numbers are way.
But
down.
I think everything is way down.
Well, not. I don't know if like the debates,
the election
stuff is.
The Masked Singer's blow it.
Yeah.
Well, because like even like the Bachelorette moved the day that they're on because they're
to Tuesday.
Because now they're in the middle of football season. They don't want to compete against Monday Night Football.
You definitely don't want to compete against.
Which I know it's just crazy to me that the NFL has that much power to move something that is seemingly a completely different
it's also
audience.
Crazy the numbers the Bachelorette and the Bachelor put up though. It's like
oh yeah,
it's like sorority girl sports.
Well,
like
yeah.
They all have their. I have a fantasy league with Luke in my other.
A lot of that though is just the time slot on the channel you're on. Like if you're if you're on like a particular time slot on like CBS, like you're just gonna get huge ratings, right?
I think that's maybe like in the early days of a show, but like they have the Bachelor Nation would follow the Bachelor whatever night it's put on now. At this point. There's just a big enough audience that like watches it every single year, every season.
Yeah, but if it was on at like 11 p.m. Friday night, it's not getting ratings.
I was looking.
No, I think that's an extreme example because
Yeah.
they wouldn't do that. But I mean, like if they like moving it from Monday to Tuesday, I bet you their ratings are.
It's just literally just the time,
Yeah.
time of the weeknight.
I was looking. So in 2019, of the top 10 most watched things, 7 of them are football games.
This is in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is whatever followed the Super
Young
Bowl.
Sheldon.
It's the world's best on CBS.
Because it was after the Super Bowl.
Because it followed the Super Bowl. Yeah. And then 10 was the other one was the World Series. And then obviously the series finale of The Big Bang Theory came in
huge.
Came in 7th. That had
Everyone watched that.
That had 1 million
Is
more
that
viewers
ever?
than Game 7 of the World Series last year.
Is
No,
that
it was probably just last year?
This is 2019.
Yeah. So probable pitchers going for Game 3: Walker Buehler and Charlie Morton. I don't know if you guys already went through that.
Yeah, we touched on that a
You
little
touched
bit.
on that. I zoned out for a second.
Then I started ranting about openers.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm a big Walker Buehler guy, so I'm gonna go Dodgers tonight.
You're going to
What
take
do
the
you guys
Dodgers. I'm going to take the Dodgers tonight, too.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers are going to win this series probably 5 or 6. I just think it's just not fair. They're just better.
Yeah, and I actually
Morton has better numbers, but
Morton is really good, but
He's unreal.
I actually like the Dodgers too. I feel like I should hate them, but I've just been watching them this playoffs. They have everyone on their team's likable.
Yeah.
Like I like Cody Bellinger. I like Betts. Kershaw
they
needs a championship.
They kind of get thrown in the same category as the Yankees, but they're not really that.
Besides Betts, everyone on their team's homegrown.
Yeah, and like they pay them a lot
To
but
keep them.
Yeah, but they also have like like you said, the core of their team is homegrown, and it's like they're more kind of like the Red Sox were in their heyday, where they built their team.
Like when it was like the
Manny Ramirez, David
Nomar,
Ortiz,
like,
yeah, because they built their team that way, and then they were able to go out and supplement that with
with Mookie Betts.
yeah.
the second best player in the world.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that they let him go too. The Red Sox were just like, yeah, we don't need him.
how free is their cap situation now?
Well,
yeah,
they can sign Mookie Betts. I think
They could sign Mookie Betts.
I think he extended with the Dodgers, but
easily. Yeah. That's as ridiculous. I don't understand what
yeah, I would be like,
they're trying to go the Rays way.
yeah, they're trying to save money, I guess.
You don't need
Yeah.
to,
This
you don't need to spend
economy.
money. In these times, you can't sign a Mookie Betts. What do you think of rumors of?
Unless a Mookie Betts comes around, you can't sign a Mookie.
Do you think this is at all in the realm of possibility? The Toronto Blue Jays signing Francisco Lindor.
Is he? No, they have to trade for him. I think.
Yeah. But signing him and getting him and then extending him.
I
And
would
then
love that.
moving Bo. Do you move Bo to second base, Biggio to the outfield or third?
Yeah, I would move Bo to second. Biggio can kind of just float all over.
Yeah,
like
well, they don't have
wherever
a
you
third
need him.
baseman.
Yeah, you can play. Yeah, in theory they do. Or you can move Bo to third.
Do you think if he came here, he would be like the next guy to get their own cologne line, like Chassis?
Lindor.
Francisco Lindor.
No, he's
that's,
not-
that's
That's a
great,
good name. For
He-
a
he
cologne.
You know what
needs
I
a-
mean? That's
yeah.
a great cologne name.
But he needs like a chocolate sponsorship.
Gustavo Chassin.
Like the Lindor, like the
Lindor chocolate.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
needs
would-
that.
Yeah, that would be good.
With your festive special, you get a Francisco Lindor.
Yeah,
That's
and inside is just an RBI. That'd be cool.
Like I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I think you're not making that trade unless you know you can sign him though.
Yeah. Do you think the Atkins Shapiro thing helps that?
Yeah, like I think they're
on this list.
I don't know what they would have to give up to get him.
Match.
What does this thing say?
Toronto already has an upcoming shortstop.
Give him the source too.
MLBTradeRumors.com.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bichette could move to second or an infield. Lindor could. See, they don't offer up any what we would
just
give up. They just say like how we'd shift the infield.
They do have a lot of prospect depth. They're obviously not going to want to give up. Basically, anybody that's on the roster now, they're not going to want to.
You're not trading like Nate Pearson.
Maybe you throw Alejandro Kirk in there. I don't know what his value is going to be.
That really hurts me that you said that. One of the other catchers can go.
Yeah, well, they don't have any value.
You don't think Reese McGuire has value? The guy, he's.
But like any of like Jordan Grosjean's, any of those guys, throw them in there. Like fuck them. Bring me Lindor.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Oh, I wonder if he almost forgot. I forgot.
Got a couple frosty beverages here.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's really that's a little sidetrack. World Series. I don't know if there's anything else to really talk
Yeah, we
about.
kind of did it all.
Dodgers are good. David versus Goliath.
I think the World Series will probably be done by the next time we do this podcast. So this
For sure.
Hot takes.
we're gonna have to. Well, I think it's
Has to
guaranteed.
be,
Yeah, I
right?
think it does. Yeah.
Dodgers in. This is a hot take. 5.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm gonna say 5 or 6.
Whoa.
He's gonna hedge his bet.
I'll
on
say
5 and
6.
Okay,
Are you
6.
gonna say a 7-game series? I'd love a 7-game series.
Rays in 7.
Oh.
Let's do it, Rays. Come on now.
I know
I'm
you guys-
invested.
If
now
that
I'm
happens,
invested.
you know what? If that happens, the Jays quite possibly second best team in baseball.
I know.
100%.
That's big.
And I'm always in a spin zone mode. I want to be able to spin it to my
Side note
likings.
here, though, I know you guys didn't watch it, but that Game 7 Dodgers Braves was like the epitome of playoff baseball.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable game. Anyone who watched it in the Frontier knows what I'm talking about.
Speaking about the epitome of things, Daniel Jones is the epitome of a mobile quarterback and athleticism.
Yeah.
One of the best runs ever
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Nobody
that was,
tackled him.
And he bailed.
yeah, that was
Well,
like that.
at that point, only Daniel Jones could beat Daniel
Yeah,
Jones
and
on that play.
Daniel Jones
That's
is so
how good
good that
he
he
was on
beat
that
Daniel
play.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. He stopped himself.
I don't know if I've
ASMR.
ever seen that before, to be honest. The guy just home free and just blow a wheel like that.
Doesn't it seem like something Eli would do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked
So
like
it's
Eli when he
that's
was
what
running.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
He kind of looks like Eli too.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like that. He's like Eli's little brother.
Do you want to do you want to get into the 10 questions? Or
Yeah,
do you
we'll
wanna,
rip
do you
it.
wanna,
Do we have any more thoughts on Daniel Jones or the Thursday Nighter?
The Thursday Nighter was a sneaky good game. That's really all I have to say.
Yeah.
Two shitty teams battling out to see who's shittier.
Well, you thought that one team was maybe significantly less shittier than the other. It turns out, no, equally shitty.
Equally shitty.
Two
yeah.
equally shitty
Yeah,
teams.
Shit levels
So,
on par
yeah.
with each other.
And just a pretty equally shitty, maybe the most competitive division in the NFL.
So
Yeah.
Thanks.
Amongst each
Speaking-
other.
I think the Washington football team might beat the Cowboys this week.
It's the division for schmucks. That's what I've been calling it.
speaking of that division, let's move
Who's
into
Steve
our
Carell? We'll find out.
moving into that division. We'll go to our 10 questions now. We'll start off with what will the winner, or how many wins will the winner of the NFC East finish with? I think the ESPN's.
I'm going to pull up their records right now.
I think nobody has more than 2 wins. ESPN's, I guess their projection machine has the Eagles winning the division at 6.
That's what they used to call me in high school.
The projection machine.
6. I guess 6, 9, and 1 has the Eagles winning the division with that record.
Ugh.
I'm gonna say I kind of think that's probably right. I'm gonna
The
say
Eagles are what, 2-4-1 right now?
So they have 9 games left. 9 games left. 2, 4,
looking at
and
their
1.
scab.
Yeah, 9 games left.
I want the football team to win.
They're
that
2-4-1.
I think they're gonna finish with 6 wins.
I want the football team to win that division so we can get similar type storylines that the Vegas Golden Knights got. Like in the first for the first time in Washington football team history, this has happened. You know what I mean? So we get some of those.
I'm going to say 7-8-1.
7, 8, 1
Yeah,
for the
they're
Eagles.
sched-
You're still going with the Eagles?
Their schedule is not. They got 3 tough games. Other than that, it's pretty easy. They
But,
obviously
like-
are playing teams in their division.
But they're all they're on the same level as those as we found out last night.
But
They're on that
if
level.
there's any team that's gonna like eventually put themselves in front of the rest, I think it's probably still the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't have confidence in it, but I think they're on paper they are the best team.
Oh, we got another primetime NFC East game next week.
These are their 3. Like this is the rough part of their schedule.
Those are losses. Cardinals are a lot. They're not beating the Cardinals.
The
Cardinals aren't that good.
that game got flexed, right? The Seattle game got flexed into the Sunday night.
Yeah, I got flexed because there's like COVID concerns around the Raiders, and
Also, because it's probably just gonna be a better game.
I don't think it had anything to do with that. Do you think
In my mind, it does.
they'd want Tom Brady in primetime for
Fuck
sure.
Tom Brady in prime time.
So sticking with the NFC East, do you think the NFL needs some kind of rule or mechanism to prevent a team with let's say an under 500 record from being in the playoffs?
I think we talked about this, and I thought maybe we didn't. Maybe
I don't think we did.
But I said if you're not over 500, you can't make the playoffs.
I would say I would go 500. Like that would be my line.
That's fine. I'm willing to flex.
Yeah.
You can tell who the Packers fan and who the Bengals fan is there.
Give me a
well,
shot.
we had an 8. The Cardinals went to the Super Bowl 8-8, I believe. Do you like that? Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like you still have to win the games, right?
Yeah, they lost in the Super Bowl.
But I think the problem was there was the year when it might have been that year. There was one year when the San Diego Chargers, I think, were 11-5 and had they had the best point differential in the NFL.
They missed the playoffs.
And missed the playoffs because an 8-8 team got in.
Yeah, I think I like if no team in your division is over 500, it just goes to a 3rd wild card.
Yeah, I kind of like that
like
idea
that.
too. Yeah.
I don't know that I mean, the argument against that would be like every team in our division is just good. We beat up on each other. Like that's clearly not the case with the NFC.
No, because if you
They all
lose,
suck.
because if you lose all the other non-division
Yeah.
games, that's clearly not what's happening.
But you could make the case that like there are teams in the playoffs that are maybe not as good, that wouldn't have won that division either. But like because those teams all split games, the records aren't as good.
Yeah.
You still should get over. No, yeah, you got to be over 500 though. You should be able to get over 500.
What do you think?
I think if you win your division, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you go 4-12.
Yeah. That's the way it always has been. That's the way it should always stay because you want continuity in the league. If that's the way you're going to run it, then there shouldn't be special cases. It's like,
I think you got to be over 500.
unless, but then like, what do you do if just nobody represents that division and there's another wild card?
Yeah. 3rd wild card. Or add another bye. You don't even have to add another team to the playoffs. You could just be like, there's an extra bye.
I don't know if I like that.
That's just another way of doing it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do that because
They would definitely not do
want
that.
the game.
They want for sure.
All right. Speaking of game, Justin Herbert is proving that he's definitely got game. Huh?
Very nice.
Is Justin Herbert the front runner for the offensive rookie of the year? He kind of just stole the job from Tyrod Taylor after the trainer.
So I don't know
him.
what. I haven't looked at like other like you mentioned that CeeDee Lamb's been ripping it up.
Yep.
But I think he's definitely like if you compare Herbert and Burrow's numbers right now, Herbert is definitely ahead of Burrow.
Yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily
because he's got
a better
team.
football player. Yeah, and he's got
A
Joe
line.
Burrow doesn't have a line, but like the numbers aren't comparable right now. So he's definitely ahead in that regard.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't taken the steps that maybe we thought he was going to, but he's on a really good team. He's contributing on a really good team, but he hasn't been like the world beater, I guess, that everybody kind of.
No, he hasn't.
Expectations were way too high for him.
He's not your rookie of the year. He hasn't had that kind of. He needs, but I think he can get into the discussion with one massive game.
Would you have
If
been?
he has one massive game, he's in the discussion immediately.
Yeah.
Would you have been like at the beginning of the year, someone told you Justin Herbert's the offensive rookie of the year? Would you have been shocked?
No, because he's kind of on the best team of all the rookie quarterbacks who at least had a shot to start.
So, another question. Tua comes in now week 7. He's starting. Does he have a chance to make up the ground and possibly be that rookie of the year?
I think if
they
he
make the playoffs,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If he takes them to the playoffs and like the Chargers don't make the playoffs and Herbert falls off a little bit, I think Tua is definitely in consideration.
But I think the argument would be that they were just as good with Fitzpatrick.
And do you think that was the right call?
Yeah, so that brings me to my next question. Were the Dolphins right to go to Tua when they did?
I think I think it looks I don't think it makes sense putting it off to keep Ryan. I know you're having this good season, but you're not winning the Super Bowl.
Either way.
You're not.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well, if you're like, we're going to get our young guy in this game, I think you just get him in.
But I think the issue with that is that they didn't. Clearly, Fitzpatrick was blindsided by that. Like, he was not expecting.
Do you think he was, or do you think he was like in his mind, maybe delusionally thinking, if I keep playing good, they're just going to keep riding with me? And they're like, no, we told you from the start.
No, I don't think so. I think he was blindsided by it because he.
Well, like, that's pure speculation.
Can you do me a favor and plug my phone in?
Oh my god, I'm a fucking chore boy.
How did I know that they said they were looking to start Tua in like week 5 or 6, and Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't know?
Did they say that?
Yeah, they were saying that at the beginning of the year.
Did they? Oh,
like,
I didn't
their
hear
coach
that.
like said it. They're like, we're probably looking at like week 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's true, then maybe they did. But
I think Fitzpatrick
everything that I had
was
heard
like probably thought like, I'm ripping up the league right now. There's no way they're gonna go for me. And
Yeah.
like, yeah.
The other thing that kind of caught me off guard was that I don't know why they announced it when they did. Like, you have a bye coming up. There's no reason. Like, wouldn't you want to keep that a secret from the Rams and not give them an extra data or an extra more time to like prepare for him? I don't know. Like, would you want to keep that a secret?
Maybe they're like, we want to see what we have.
I guess,
here.
yeah.
We don't need to
Or you're
secrets.
just maybe showing faith, and maybe that's your way of showing. Maybe that does prove that this was their plan the whole time.
Yeah, it also shows confidence in Tua, right?
Any more thoughts on Tua?
No.
Okay. Speaking of now, Tua's backup, should any team go out there and try and acquire Ryan Fitzpatrick before the trade deadline, which is coincidentally the same day as the U.S. presidential election. So it's a big day in America, November 3rd.
Hot take alert. The Eagles should go, and no, that doesn't make any sense because they just
they
pick Jalen Hurts. But if you want to get a little bit of that Super Bowl flair, you bring in a hot backup in a division that's definitely ripe for the taking. Maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick gets hot. You get Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey's back, and guess what?
Well, Dallas would be a team in that division that kind of makes sense that people have thrown out there. I think Dalton's a better player than Fitzpatrick, and I don't know that you want to bring in the competition to kind of rattle his cage a bit, but it's the NFL, and if you think he can help you win, maybe you go out and do it.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about his feelings?
I know Washington is another team, too, that maybe if you bring him in, you have it. You're still in a playoff race. You're 1-5. You're still in a playoff race.
If I'm Washington, I'm all in on one of these top
I think they are, too.
You have to be. Especially new coach, pretty much the entire new organization in terms of the front office. You just go out and get your quarterback to build around.
I wouldn't hate the Bengals doing it, too. Obviously, he's familiar with that team. He's been there before.
Fitz?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yep. After a second team.
He's played for like every team.
Yeah. I know, but I didn't think the Bengals.
Yeah, he was there for a couple years. He was Carson Palmer's backup, I believe.
Any team you like don't think he's played for? Yes.
Only the Patriots in the AFC East. I think he hasn't played for.
Yeah. Yeah, so like maybe the Bengals go out and make that move, but all the everything that he's going to bring to the Bengals, he's going to bring to the Dolphins. So I don't know that the Dolphins are going to want to do that unless he's clearly disgruntled. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be a problem there.
No.
So from
like you're Ryan Fitzpatrick, you've never had job security in your career. Don't like
in Buffalo.
I feel like he
bit,
can get over it.
But that's it.
But even in Buffalo, it was like if we ever get anyone better, he's out. Like he's gone in a second.
Yeah.
Well, our defense was the problem those years.
Yeah.
Like him, Fred Jackson, and Stevie Johnson were like actually like pretty good.
So the Bills now they've lost. They started off 4-0. They've lost 2 games in a row. 2 of the better teams in the NFL though, so it's not
it's not cause for alarm.
Yeah.
Yet.
What do you think are realistic expectations for the Bills this season? Like to me,
10-6.
I'm talking. Yeah, so 10-6.
But like
playoff win.
I think it's tough in that
playoff win. I have no clue.
It's tough in that conference. Like to say that it's any like you can't. I don't think you can unless you're the Chiefs. It's hard to say any AFC team's expectations is to go to the Super Bowl. No, right?
Clearly they're not. They're not on that level.
No, so I'd say like a playoff. Win.
Yeah, I think
it's like a good season.
That's kind of where I was going. I think the Bills. They're a good team, but they're not in that upper tier with like the maybe the Steelers, the Chiefs, Ravens, maybe
and
the
then,
Titans.
Well, I'd say
the
like
Titans
the Titans and the Steelers are knocking on that door.
Yeah,
but like
then the Bills are like a step below them.
But before the game against the Titans, you probably would have put the Titans and the Bills in the same category, right?
Yep. And then I guess the Bills just lost to 2 teams that you think they should probably lose
so it's hard to just like.
I think the one thing with them though that we kind
of to throw the baby out with the bath.
They're like Their defense has been a concern. Like that was supposed to be the thing that was their.
Yeah, so I'll ask you as a Bills fan, if I had told you like this year that their defense would be at what it is, and like, would you still have thought they would have been as successful as they've been?
No way.
Yeah. So
No way.
I guess that speaks highly of Josh Allen and the offense.
Well, our offense
But
has actually been what's kept us in games. Like I'm more worried now when our defense is on the field than when our offense, and that's completely foreign to me. I'm normally just like, okay, like let's like get some good field position. Maybe we can get a field goal.
What do you think? The personnel is pretty much the same. Isn't it?
The problem is
They've been banged up a little bit.
Yeah, we've been banged up. Milano has played, I think, 2 games this year out of the 6. Both games we've won pretty handily. He's a huge piece, and he's a piece that we're going to have to sign in the offseason. Losing Star Latulele is also actually massive because he was the guy on our line that took the double teams. So he would free up guys like Ed Oliver and Jerry Hughes and Lorenzo Alexander to get into the backfield. And if you've noticed, anybody who's watched any Bills games, is we have literally 0 pressure on the quarterback ever. Like I think we have 1 sack in the last 3 games. Like that you can't win like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the way Patrick Mahomes is beaten is you get pressure on him. The Raiders showed that.
Yeah, they were kind of doing the Bills were like dropping. They were only sending 3 guys lots of times.
Yeah.
And Mahomes too, which is
And
he's a good enough runner that he's gonna make you pay for that.
Don't get me started again about some of these decisions. Like we play scared, or we coach scared.
Yeah.
He's been coaching scared. That third quarter when we're down 2 scores and there's 34 seconds on the clock, and you run down the entire 34 seconds just to go to the fourth quarter. How does that make any sense?
Teams
you
do that
see
a lot. No, I don't. But teams do that a lot, and it never makes sense to me. Yeah,
I was furious. Get the plays in.
Yeah,
Our offense was on the field.
because that's a full play clock, basically 34.
Yeah, like you could have scored before the fourth quarter potentially if you played it right. I mean, obviously not. I think we were on like their 40 though.
Yeah, so
like we could have got into field goal range with like. I mean, obviously you don't need to convert on points before the fourth quarter, but you could have got some plays off.
yeah, maybe they're I don't know, like maybe
Be more aggressive. We're like way too defensive in our play calling. We've gone through this with my opinions on the prevent defense too that we always do when we're winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think teams just don't do that because they're just like, we don't need to rush. Like, let's just relax. Like,
yeah, but I think his point is that's not even really rushing. 34
I know
seconds.
34 is a lot, but
Like
I
literally watched them run 34 seconds of Josh
they line
Allen
up?
trying. Yeah, they were lined up the whole time trying to hard count.
maybe they
Well, that's
just
what
didn't
they're
get
trying
the,
to do
maybe,
then.
Yeah, but like fuck
Yeah.
that. Why are we doing that?
the only
We don't have to do that.
The only thing I can think of is
Packers do that all the time.
We're
Yeah.
down. Yeah, but you have the best hard counter in the game, maybe in
Whoa.
the history of the game.
Well, but half the time he does it. When it doesn't work, you saying the same thing though.
Yeah, but I guarantee you Rodgers would not let Matt LaFleur be like, okay, like we're just gonna run 34 seconds off the clock and not let you snap this ball. He wouldn't.
He doesn't snap the ball all the time. He tries to get hard counts, and like
Yeah,
most
but
of the
not
time
with
it doesn't work.
Not with 34
when
seconds.
it works, the announcers cream their jeans.
But dude, 34 seconds.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
He does it in like all game situations.
But that's a lot of time, man. Especially when you're down 2 scores.
What do you mean 34 seconds? He'll take the full 40 off the clock.
But it doesn't happen when they're down 2 scores.
Yes.
In the second quarter. I mean, in the second half.
Not in like the fourth quarter, but like
in the second half, you're trying to catch up. You need to manage the clock. That is like football 101. If you're down by more than 1
I've
score,
seen
you
him
need to
do
manage
it
the
multiple
clock.
times when they're losing by a decent amount.
It just infuriates me that happened, and there's no excuse for it.
the only thing I can think of is
We
maybe
needed time.
Maybe they got to the line and didn't get the look that they like. So like, all right, fuck it, let's just try and hard count. That's the only other thing I can think of.
Call an audible. I don't know. Fuck, run a play. Like,
Yeah.
It just reeked of like fear. Like we're just gonna keep it close. Like that's what it reached. That's what it smelled like to me when I was watching that.
Yeah, it's tough to know like what you said though, like what's actually going on. Like
I didn't like it. That's all I have to say.
Speaking of what's going on, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on with the Green Bay Packers after they got dismantled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. That was kind of a game where that was a game that I was really excited for, and it just never felt like the Packers had a chance after the first quarter, I think.
yeah.
The Buccaneers just took over. So what do you think? Same question for the Packers. What do you think are realistic expectations for them this season?
Oh, I think they can still go to the
Do you think they're still a Super Bowl team?
Yeah, because the NFC doesn't have that top. Like the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC, And they don't have a defense, so
they might be getting Antonio Brown though.
That won't help their defense.
I'm just saying things about the Seahawks.
Like I don't know if it's realistic expectations, but I think the ceiling for the Packers is still the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They didn't look. That was a horrible game.
Yep.
But
sometimes that happens too, where just the game gets like. I think did Rodgers throw 2 pick sixes?
Yeah. And you could tell after I don't know. I love Rodgers, but he sometimes has some of the worst body language ever. And
horrible.
And that was a game where you could just tell you could see the look in his face where he's like, we're not winning this game. He just knew we're not winning.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he knew. Maybe just the blitz scheme of the Buccaneers was confounding because that's the first game this year where he had no time.
Mm-hmm. Last week we had a question about whether or not AJ Green had played his last game as a Bengal. He clearly did not. He came back.
He played well.
He had 11 targets, 8 receptions for 96 yards. Are we buying AJ Green's return to form here?
How many yards did he have?
96. 8 receptions, 96 yards on 11 targets.
No, he's washed.
You think he's still washed?
I can't backtrack on this.
I think his thing is that he's not fast enough to play outside, and they already have a guy in the slot in Tyler Boyd. So what they've been doing now is they've had Green and Boyd line up in the slot when they go 4 receivers. But to me, I don't know how much you're going to get out of him because he doesn't have the speed to beat anybody. He's got to be crafty to beat people right now. I think he's still going to be productive, but I just don't think we're ever going to see the guy that he was 3 years ago.
I would agree with that.
More receivers, kind of washed up receivers who are trying to make their return in the league. You mentioned him earlier, Antonio Brown. He's rumored to sign with the Seahawks. Des Bryant also signed with the Baltimore Ravens practice squad yesterday. Mm-hmm. Who will have more of an impact on this season, Brown or Bryant? Brown. My thing is Brown might not even play.
Well,
I guess Bryant might not play either, but Bryant's at least on a roster.
It has to be if I had to put money down right now.
Yeah.
I'd probably bet on Bryant because he's signed with the team. If Antonio Brown had already signed, then I'd probably bet on Antonio.
And I think I'd bet on Brown because the payout would probably be better. And I don't think I'd put. I don't think
he just might not sign with anyone.
I don't think I'd put big money on either of it.
Yeah.
Either of them. So if I was gonna make a bet, I'd make the bet.
My whole thing. I don't think Des Bryant's gonna make much of a mark either. I just don't know if Antonio Brown will end up signing with anyone.
I hope he does. I hope Mr. Big Chest makes a comeback.
I think people forget about Des too that he signed with the Saints 2 years ago, and he was gonna play for them, and then he tore his Achilles in practice, and then he was done. So
you're looking out for another injury in practice?
I'm just saying there's clearly been interest in him before. It's not like he's been out of the league.
He hasn't played a game since 2017.
Yeah, so it's not like but I think my point is it's not like he was.
It's like
that was totally by choice. It was like he was out of the league because he was hurt, and then
and he wasn't that productive his last 3 years.
No, the 2016 he went to the Pro Bowl.
That's a horrible Pro Bowl year if he did.
13 games though, I think he only played, right?
So 60 yards a game.
Yeah.
That's in 13 games.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
He was putting up 85 earlier in his
career. I think he's going to have a shot in both. He's going to get every shot to be their number one receiver because none of the guys they have looked great. Duvernay's done some stuff. Hollywood Brown's been okay, but nobody there has really emerged as the guy in Baltimore. Next question. I think the only question I have left is, are the Titans a legit Super Bowl contender?
Yes.
I'm not totally there yet. I think this is obviously just a stupid thing to say, but if they beat the Steelers this week, I think that might convince me.
The same thing that we said. I think they're the tier below in that conference,
and they're gonna have trouble with if you have a game where it's Tannehill versus Mahomes, nobody in their right mind is taking Tannehill. I don't think.
Yeah.
I just could not. I would not be able to talk myself into betting on Mahomes or betting on Tannehill in that game.
The way I look at it is, I don't really see a flaw in the Titans. Weirdly enough, and it's weird for me to say that. I just don't. They've won in the playoffs already. Yeah. They've got an offense and a pass game with Tannehill. They've got one of the best run games in the NFL. Their defense has been playing very well, and they've got I don't know what their turnover ratio is right now, but I'm pretty sure it's in the positive, pretty significantly. The only real knock on them is the perception of it's the Titans.
Well, I would say the one thing is maybe if they go down 10 early in a playoff game,
They're gonna have a hard time.
It's gonna be harder for them to like. Whereas like if the Chiefs could be down 20 and you're like they're probably still gonna win this game.
They did that twice last year, right? They were down in the Super Bowl and they were down against.
Like
the
that would
Texans.
be the only thing I would say about the Titans is like if they go down by a couple scores, I don't know if I have the confidence in Ryan Tannehill bringing them back.
I might have a little more confidence in Tannehill than you, but I think really the big thing standing in my way of saying Super Bowl contender is the Chiefs because I've almost written them in already.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's hard to say any other team in the AFC is a Super Bowl contender because the Chiefs are in the like. I think the Titans are a way better football team right now than the Green Bay Packers, but I think the Packers have a better chance of going to the Super Bowl
because they have an easier road.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for the 10 questions.
So. I have a new segment that I don't know. Should we do? Like, we're running out of time. We don't have a lot of time. We still need to get to UFC, and we still need to do our hypothetical. Do you want me to do it, or should I?
It's
just
up to you.
Want to do it as a side video?
Yeah, I could do it as a side video on my own.
Okay, well, let's
if
just.
you want. It's called Moneyline is in retrograde. So what I do is
That's a good name.
It's pretty good, eh? Yeah. So it's called Moneyline is in retrograde. So what I do for all my astrology fans out there and sports fans, we're having a little collab here. So I'm going to read your horoscope based on astrotwins.com. These guys they're the top of the industry. I really thank you for giving me the insight, because I can't read the stars like these twins can. But what I can do is I can read the lines and I can tell you what the hot bets are going to be. So based on your horoscope for whatever month, say you're an Aries, say you're a Sagittarius, say you're a Scorpio, say you're a Taurus, whatever that says, I will read it and I will give you your best bet for that week based on your horoscope. So if you're interested in that, we'll be posting that a little bit later.
You gonna put that on Instagram, maybe?
Yeah,
Instagram,
maybe I'll put
Twitter?
that on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah. So
look for that Saturday, I guess.
Yeah,
Saturday.
So yeah, it's called Moneyline is in retrograde.
Love it. Are we ready to move to UFC?
Yep, and I have my insider actually.
Yeah, you can bring him. I don't have a.
No, I'm not going to bring him on. He's sent me his. He's a very, very busy man. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of insight in the industry.
He's shopping for bows and guns.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did hear here some
Yeah.
scary conversations.
I believe
in the green room.
I believe he wants to be called the Inferno.
Okay.
Because all his picks are
Is
hot.
Connor Brown? Is Connor Brown your insider?
No.
Similar hair.
It isn't. So should we go? Let's go through the picks, and we'll go through the card itself. Everything I've read is that this is a stacked card.
That's what I've heard too. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
You need to tune in
because I know
we are. This is why I'm bringing the insiders in, because we're not the biggest UFC guys. I'm probably a bigger UFC guy than you guys, but I'm not by any means like this guy's a Muay Thai specialist.
Like I'm more inclined. Like I like the real combat sports, like the WWE.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Yes.
But
me too.
Sometimes I'll watch like the fake shit too.
Yeah.
So like
I get
this week with a good card, I'll tune in.
I feel like I'm a pretty good gauge for like what the general public is for UFC.
You're a pretty good Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, like I think if.
Well, like if you're, I think I am too. That's the same. Like if I'm interested, that means it's like a big card.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So the one thing I wanted to throw out there, maybe before we just get into the card, has Khabib, for me at least, I think Khabib has moved into that kind of tier of guys. If they're fighting, I want to watch. There's probably about 4 or 5 of those guys in the UFC for me right now.
I think anybody that's undefeated is immediately in that, and undefeated in the championship picture.
Some guys are undefeated and boring though.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't really.
But they're not. But Khabib's style is boring.
But I think like if
he's
beaten people, so he's put himself in that title picture.
But there's still like
with the undefeated. Anyone undefeated with a title, it's
not just
boring. In my opinion,
it's not just boring in the octagon though. It's like you're like everything that surrounds you too.
And the thing that
he was jumping out of the octagon.
That is the reason. That is
right?
100%. I think that is the only reason I care is because he did that is the only I would not if he was undefeated. Like I'm sure there's guys who are undefeated and champions right now that I don't know.
Same.
Do you know Israel Adesanya?
Yeah,
the
I know
style bender.
He might be a guy that I watch next. I did not watch that last fight, but that's like I could not name you. I don't think I could name another champion in UFC.
Really?
Just going off the top of my head. I don't. Is Corey May the light heavyweight champion or the heavyweight champion?
Isn't John Jones a champion?
No, he gave it up. Yeah, so then I don't know anybody.
Stipe is. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I know who he is. Yeah, but I wouldn't have been able to get that.
Okay.
Anyways, I think like it's Habib, McGregor, John Jones, and then like if GSP ever fights again.
Are you a full-on soft K guy when you're saying? Because I say Khabib.
I don't
Khabib.
know. I go back and
Khabib.
forth. I think.
Yeah, you full-on softened that K.
I think you're
Habib?
supposed to.
You're supposed to.
I don't know. I'm gonna.
Anyways, let's get to the picks from our insider, the Inferno himself. We'll start with the prelims. These prelims are brought to you by the Inferno. And speaking of undefeated, we have an undefeated fighter, Shavkat Rakhmonov. So our picks, our name on the front picks, pick Shavkat over Alex Oliveira. I believe he thinks knockout.
This is what the insider's saying?
The insider's saying this, yeah. And so next time we're going to get the insider on the phone for this, but he wasn't prepared.
Okay.
He wasn't prepared, so he's just sent me in names. So as of for this card, we just got the names. The next one.
1 sec. We got.
What do we?
Okay, that was welterweight, by the way. I didn't even know catchweight was a thing. What is catchweight? Is that a new?
In between. That means in between It's in between two weights.
Okay, so yeah, I claimed to be. All right, what do you?
There's no K. Maybe you put a little stank on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got to have a little.
I think it might be a silent K. All right, carry on. Sorry.
Yep. Okay, no problem. He doesn't have a pick for this catchweight fight, which is Nathaniel Wood and Casey Kenny.
So it's a pick 'em.
Just basically,
Jason Kenny's winning this fight for
the
sure.
Alberta Premier Jason Kenny.
Jason Kenny is winning.
Yeah, Casey Kenny. I'm gonna go with Nathaniel Wood. He looks a little tougher. He's got a beard, which all immediately makes people look tougher to me because I can't grow one. But I mean, these two have beards, and I could knock them senseless any day of the week. So I mean, it could go either way. But I'm gonna go Nathaniel Wood. The next pick, very interesting. Tai Tuivasa over
Tuivasa.
Yeah, it's his cousin, I believe. Over Steven Struve or Struve. I don't know, depending on what country he's from, but he's gonna lose to Tai.
Ty's gonna win.
Attaboy Tai.
Here is your main event of the evening: Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris. Great name for a fighter.
This is the main event?
No, this is the main card.
Oh, that was we were doing the undercard?
That was the prelims.
Oh. Jesus.
So now we're into the main card, which is just 3 fights, but 3 big fights.
I haven't heard of a single person so far.
Nikolai Volkov?
Alexander Volkov.
Well, he's a good defenseman.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he played for the Russians back in the 80s.
He played for didn't he play for the Ottawa Volchenkov?
Him and Viagra were defensive partners in 72.
Anton Volchenkov? Is that it?
Yeah, so Alexander Volkov, he's a heavyweight. He's got big knockout power.
That guy sounds scary.
I'll always watch a heavy. Yeah, he's if he dies, he dies. To me, that's who he is now. He's now Drago.
Kirk Cousins has adopted that saying.
Yeah.
About the corona.
Yeah. If I die, I die.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
He also sucks.
Yeah, he's the worst. Walt Harris. I mean, if you guys want to make your own picks, Walt Harris.
I like a guy named Walt.
Let me see the picture. Turn that towards me.
He's 37 though.
We didn't have
Walt is 37?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Big Walt.
These guys
don't crack.
Volkov's winning that for sure.
Look at his record.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Volkov, I think
he's got 18 more wins.
I've personally seen him knock the fuck out of people.
Give me Volkov all day. Fight
on.
Island. Whatever. We're here now.
Yeah, we don't have the logo out.
We're here now.
Yeah, we're at the end. So we got. Oh, this is a bit of an underdog pick here by the Inferno.
By the Inferno.
Yeah. Robert Whitaker is gonna lose to Jared Cannonier.
The Subway.
I thought there was only 3 fights.
That's the second fight.
What about
the main card?
Gaethje?
That's the last fight.
Is he fighting Nurmagomedov?
Yes.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh man,
Oh,
I was on
boy.
a roll there. I was really
My bad.
really
I apologize. I thought he was in a different fight.
No, we got so Robert Whitaker, who is a name that I think we all recognize, of course.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, he's 22. He's 22-5, and the Inferno has him going 22-6 after this because Jared Cannonier is going to take it. Even though Jared is 36 and he's only fought 17 times, Robert
What has he been doing?
Robert's 29 and he's fought.
The Inferno thinks Jared's winning.
Yeah,
Jared from Subway.
That's your underdog pick of the week.
The Subway guy
is Jared. And now the main event, obviously, Khabib Nurmagomedov over Justin Gaethje. That's a pick from the Inferno himself. I think pretty much everybody's saying that. Justin Gaethje,
what's his record?
Is 22-2, and Khabib is 28-0. Khabib is way less exciting than Gaethje. Like Gaethje's knockout power is insane, just from what I remember, and he's also pretty good on the ground. So I'm gonna go Gaethje because I'm annoyed with Khabib. I'm annoyed with him. I don't like his style of fighting. I'm more of a stand-up and brawl kind of UFC fan. When they go, like, he just goes to the ground and, like, he used to wrestle bears, apparently, back in Russia. So he just pins people to the ground and, like, beats them up with elbows and, like, just, like, demolishes them. And I don't know. To me, that's not as fun. It's the Dagestani style of fighting that's actually really successful in the UFC. And probably is the best style, but to me it's boring, and I'm not in it for like technicalities and the technique of it. I'm in it to see some people get knocked the fuck out, and Justin Gaethje provides that a lot of the time, more often than not. So I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje.
I was listening to people talk about this too. They're saying he's the best wrestler that Khabib's ever fought.
Perfect.
So maybe he'll be able to. But again, like that in that same breath, people were saying that he's the best wrestler he's ever fought, and he's not going to be able to do a thing to stop Khabib from taking him down. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what that does. The other thing too is Khabib is now starting to say that he wants to fight GSP after this.
That's cool.
But the only problem is GSP fights. He fought at middleweight his last time, and so that's 2 weight classes above where Khabib is. So Khabib would have to come up to him,
which I think he probably could.
And I don't like the other thing is too. There's nothing in that for GSP other than money. So I don't know how. Does he need the money?
He's an honor he's an honor guy. Yeah, he's not about the money.
No, so I don't know that. I don't know that he's ever going to want to do that. But
yeah, it's an interesting storyline that we can follow here at Name on the Front.
McGregor's going to want to fight Khabib too. Like that's like after this fight, McGregor's going to be all over that because McGregor fights in January, I believe. He's fighting somebody in January. Can't remember who. But after
who is he fighting?
It's a name that I've heard of. Is it Cerrone? Not Cerrone.
No. Cowboy. No.
The other guy whose name's kind of similar to that. Wow, this is great podcasting right now.
We should have been more prepared for UFC.
Yeah, we don't usually talk about UFC, so here we go. Tony Ferguson. That's the guy.
Oh, I love that fight. Awesome.
So if McGregor wins that, he's going to be all over Khabib to fight him.
I don't think he will.
The other thing is
he's going to get pumped.
Khabib has apparently said he doesn't want to go through that again. Like he doesn't want to do
McGregor again.
Like it's not that he doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to do like the theatrics that come with fighting McGregor.
Yeah, well, McGregor was like insulting his like family and his religion and shit. Like, and that's a little much.
But I think Khabib came around on that and like understood why he was doing it. You know what I mean? And then
he's doing it to make money.
Yeah, he made Khabib made the most money he's ever made because of that. So I think I think at that point
I don't think he's let it go. I think that's why he's not interested in it because he hasn't let it go.
No, I think if he hadn't let it go, he'd want to beat the shit out of him again. You know what I mean?
I think he's like, I've already proven it, and I don't need to go through that circus because last time it was
maybe,
too
but
hard
that's not going away. McGregor's going to bring that either way, whether or not he fights him. You know what I mean? McGregor's never going to shut up about that.
He's already retired 10 times.
Oh yeah, that's the most meaningless thing ever. But
I don't. Do you think like McGregor? Like I don't think McGregor. I think McGregor would only do that if he had a fight lined up. Like he doesn't do that. I don't think he like believes like. He's like, fuck this guy's religion. He's like, we have a fight and we're gonna make money.
No, I agree. No. But I think he's
like
gonna be throwing
prick.
Like he's gonna be He's gonna be angling for that fight, whether or not Khabib.
But I don't know if he'll dive into like the fuck your religion stuff unless the fight's already lined up.
Yes, I agree. But he will be dragging Khabib through the media whether or not Khabib wants it if they're not fighting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because McGregor wants that payday.
That's the one thing that.
And I do think McGregor is competitive enough that he still probably thinks he can beat Khabib.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything I've heard is that McGregor
think,
gave Khabib, like McGregor was the best anyone's ever done against Khabib, and he got crushed.
Yeah, but I think McGregor saw God when he had Khabib over top of him, just raining down elbows. You could see it in his eyes. He was like, "What do I do?"
Do you think McGregor's do you think he thought he could beat Floyd Mayweather? I think that was just he knew he could make a shitload of money.
No, because at the end I saw when they came together, McGregor was like, "I did pretty good."
I know, exactly.
I did pretty good. Right?
I don't think Conor McGregor's delusional. I think he's smart. I think he knows when he knows what a paycheck is.
But I legitimately believe that. I think he believes he could. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, speaking of guys that just recently got a new paycheck, Joe Thornton, our hypothetical this week is Joe Thornton versus Eric Stahl. We're talking careers, okay? So what would you prefer? Eric Stahl comes into the league. He's a rookie, wins the cup in, his first year, I think?
First or second year.
Rookie.
Yeah.
And he was, one of the best players on the team.
Yeah, one of the best players on the team. But then for the rest of your career, you are kind of a above-average talent, but you're never really...
is, in and out of the playoffs, losing in the first round.
You're never... Yeah, so you have that cup under your belt, but you're never really, your legacy doesn't expand much past that.
Yeah.
Or you're Joe Thornton, who's got an absolutely massive legacy of being one of the best players ever to not win a cup.
You're always going on deep playoff runs,
and you're still kind of looking for that last cup. So it's pretty much the argument of successful career and no cup, or cup and pretty successful career. One is a definite Hall of Famer. One's a fringe Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say? Would you I get it just really just comes down to because I think they've made similar money in their careers too.
For
probably.
sure.
Okay, yeah. Take a guess. How much money do you think Joe Thornton's made in his career? Give me a guess.
Okay, I'm trying to I got to do math. So 97.
Anyways,
Contracts then
years.
were so he's probably making three, I don't know. I don't know how much money they made then. So he's been in the league for 23 years.
Do you want to do Eric Stahl first? You can do either one. I'd have both there.
I think he's made $100 million.
Joe Thornton?
Okay, I'm going to say for Joe.
That was for Joe, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 127.
You guys kind of split it.
Okay.
Thornton's 109.
Okay. Eric Stahl.
That surprised me. I didn't think he would have made that much.
Eric Stahl. Well, they do 23 years
No,
divided by 5.
You're right.
That's when was Eric Stahl's rookie year? 2004? 2000.
Yeah, it was 2004.
Eric Stahl's rookie year, 2000.
They won it in 06.
2004, yeah. 03-04 was his first
So
year.
he came in the year before the lockout, and then they won the next year. So he's been in the league for
15 years, 16 years.
So I'll say 78.
I'm going to go with a 95.
It's 83 million. So Mike wins that one. Those both surprised me. I didn't think they would have made. I don't know why I didn't think they would have made that much
I'm
money.
averaging them out they're probably making on average 6 mil, 5 or 6 mil a year for
What's
their whole
that?
career.
Go average. Average per. So it'd be 20. It'd be 109 divided by 23.
Because even Thornton's early years when he was a superstar, the superstars were probably only making 4 or 5.
Thornton averaged 4.7
and
then
Stahl 5.1.
5.1.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of crazy that Stahl made more on average.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean I think
Just
that's just
early,
the years that they've played and when their primes were.
So for the question, my answer.
Yeah, sorry to sidetrack
It's
you guys.
probably no. It was a good discourse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just showing that they basically made the same amount of money.
It adds to the hypothetical.
Yeah, I think that I would.
Fair enough.
It would be more. I think there would be a lot of pain that came with this, but I think I would rather have Joe Thornton's career. It would hurt. It would hurt a lot, but you're making deep runs every year.
It's would you rather be
exciting?
Kind of the same kind of thing. Would you rather be Dan Marino or Eli Manning?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going Eric Stahl.
Yeah,
I think I am
love Eric
too.
Stahl's career. He wins the cup.
Okay, but it's not. Let's step away from those two specifically. It's just
Would you rather win a cup?
But that's the prime examples. Win the cup, moderately successful. No doubt Hall of Famer.
Successful though.
You're a star, but this is no doubt Hall of Famer, one of the best players of your generation. No cup. But your team, it's more the team's Joe Thornton was always on a good team. Stahl, after that cup, he's never really. The Carolina had that one other run, I think.
Yeah.
He was never really on good teams, right?
But yeah, now he's on Buffalo.
Yeah.
So he's
Center Taylor Hall and Jeff Skinner.
You're still gonna go Stahl? I think I would still go Thornton.
I mean, if I had a whole spiel about why I would pick Stahl.
Yeah, do it.
So Eric Stahl, in comparison to Thornton, he's kind of had like a bunch of like dream. Like he got to play with his brother in the NHL. He's gotten to play. He got
played
to
with
win
both of them, I think, because he got traded to New York and played with Mark for one.
Yeah, so he got to play with both of his brothers.
Sorry, Jarrett.
In the NHL, he won a cup early. He's been like a perennial 25 goal scorer in the NHL the entire time. He had most of his career in a place where like he could be a superstar athlete and still live a life.
Yeah, so is Joe.
So is Joe. Yeah, so is Joe. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm kind of supportive. I don't know. He's had kind of like the golden, like it's almost like a fairy tale career.
Yeah.
For Eric Staal, where like Joe still hasn't really reached that pinnacle yet. I don't know. I think the answer is Joe. But I think
I don't know that it is.
I think it's a lot closer.
I think I would take Eric Staal too.
And you take the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The cup is obviously what you dream of. You don't dream of winning fucking.
Do you think you have the full
Ross
appreciation for it when you win it your first year in the league?
No, I don't think you do.
But I think looking back now, he's like.
Yeah, he's like, I have it.
That's
like,
no, but he was like.
That was crazy.
He was like, I'm so lucky that I got it then because now I understand how hard it is to get back.
Yeah.
Eric Stahl's also. I don't know if Joe has won this. I don't know if Joe won the juniors, but Eric Stahl's got everything. He's got like the World Championship, the Olympics, and
did he? Which Olympics was he at?
2010.
Yeah,
2010. Okay. Oh yeah.
Joe's got two Olympic golds already.
Eric Stahl doesn't have World Juniors though, but
yeah, because their first World Juniors was that lockout year that started the streak of like 5 in a row.
And he was too old by then. Yeah.
Does Joe have World Juniors?
Let me look. I think
he might have won it with that when O-Dog won it. Was he on that team?
I think he's a bit older. Like O-Dog was.
O-Dog is older than Joe.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Joe Thornton.
What O-Dog's was what? Oh, his was like 92, right?
Yeah.
That he won it.
Thornton won in 97. So Thornton's actually got all of them except for the cup.
He's got 2 Olympic golds, I think. 2010 and 14?
No, he wasn't on 14.
It's a very tight
or
race.
2002.
It's very tight. For me, I might pull a mic and be the fence sitter here.
The no Stanley Cup is like that's gonna be a big stain on but
he's the best player who hasn't won.
But I think he had
he's
more
winning it this year.
But you got to remember while you're doing that though, like you don't know. Every year Joe's like, we might win this year.
So same thing with Eric Stahl though. We might win again.
Right. But his teams are never as good. Joe's always been on a really good team.
I literally just got a text from Vancouver Canucks fan saying, "Dude, if the Leafs don't win it this year, I don't know what else they can do." That's what he just said. Why? Out of the blue. Out of the blue, I just got that. Out of the blue, I just got that.
It's a morbid text.
Yeah. I mean, hey, fuck. Kick me in the nuts. Why don't you? But
if that was from a Leafs fan, I would have been like, dude, is your mental health okay?
Yeah.
Like,
do I need to call someone?
We're like 4 months away from the season here.
Dude, if the Leafs don't do it this year, I don't know what else I can do in this life. Whoa, relax, man.
So yeah, anyways, if the Leafs don't win it this year, I don't know what else can be done. I know. Watch Name on the Front and have some